Welcome. I'm Madison King. Thank you for joining us today. And if you were here with us yesterday, welcome back. Yesterday, we were talking to Dr. Claire Willocks up there in Scotland, and she gave her idea of what her fundamentals year had been like and her career. What do I want to say today? I want to say I wish I could see you all. I know you're all out there, so welcome. Um, Okay, who is Madison King? Those of you who don't know me, I was one of Donna Eden's original students, and that was more than 30 years ago. And you know, I am eternally grateful for having met that amazing woman. Donna manages to share her immense wisdom, and it's real wise woman stuff, some of her work. She manages to share that wisdom with such integrity, such authenticity, and such generosity of spirit. And, you know, she's the real thing. She's the real thing. And I feel so honored to have worked with her. And, you know, between you and me, I don't know where I would have ended up if I hadn't have met Donna Eden and got involved with energy medicine. But where I did end up is now I run her European training, and I also run her advanced level 4 training over in the USA, and it's going to be in Europe next year. So excited about that. But anyway, enough about me. I'm here today to talk with Biddy Househam, who went through our fundamentals program, and I want her to give you a glimpse of what that program was like, what that level 1 fundamentals class was like. Because, you know, to really get a feel for a training, you need to talk to the people who have done it, who have been through it all. But before I actually talk to Biddy, I just want to address a couple of logistics because you have been asking us about that level 1 fundamentals class logistics. And I just want to say everything you need to know, all the practitioners, the dates, the prices, the curriculum, everything you could possibly need to know is on our website. And it's really nice. They've updated it, you know, it looks fantastic, very easy to navigate. So it's level1.edenmethod.com. I'll say that again at the end, and it will be, someone will put it in the notes either down below or to the side, down below or to the side somewhere, but it's there, okay? level1.edenmethod.com. But let me cover just a few quick points that may help you, okay? First of all, level 1 fundamentals, as the name suggests, it's the entry point into the training. Okay, and it is opening this spring. They always start in the spring. Okay, it's opening in 50 locations around the world. Yes, 50 locations around the world. I'm just so excited. I can't believe it's grown so much. But we have classes starting in Australia, in Canada, in Ireland, in England, in Scotland, in Sweden, in Portugal, and of course in the home of EEM in the United States of America. As I said, classes start in the spring. That's the only time they start. So now is your chance to register. There are 4 classes in all. You don't have to go every day. Don't worry. It's just 4 classes during the year. And to honor the COVID restrictions that, you know, may be happening in your area, the first class can be taught online if necessary. So all you need to do is talk to your teacher. Okay, and I'm just laughing a bit really here because I just love talking about fundamentals, because as a teacher and having seen so many students through it, they come into this Aladdin's cave of energy medicine, not quite knowing what to expect. And most of them just fall in love with it. It's a great thing to observe. Okay, but let's talk to Biddy. Let's hear from someone who has actually gone through it, who has done it. And Biddy is based in the north of England, up near the borders with Scotland, and she is a certified practitioner, a CP. So Biddy, I see you there. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And what I'd love you to do, please, in your own words, is to share how did you discover EEM? Okay, what was your personal experience of that fundamentals class? What was your first year like? What was it that you really enjoyed in that first year? But thank you, Biddy, for being here today.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now? I'm not sure. Am I on? Thank you. Technology and I are not friends, but here we are. It's really nice to be here and welcome everybody. And I agreed to do this because I felt very, very passionate about doing fundamentals and then it leading on to me carrying on with that. And now I'm in my third year. I actually heard about Donna first when I became an EFT trainer, EFT practitioner, because my trainer taught us the daily energy routine as part of our self-care. And I absolutely loved that. And then I went on and did Reiki and became a master teacher. And I love both Reiki and EFT, and I use them all the time. But I felt like I wanted something meatier and something was missing, and I really didn't know what it was. I became aware that I was seeing energy, which really annoyed me. I wasn't very happy because I didn't want to be one of the woo-woo tribe. And I would see Donna on YouTube and see her in programs, and I thought, this woman can't be for real. She's so radiant. She's so full of energy. On one hand, I wanted to know what she had because I wanted some of it. And on the other, I wanted to just prove that she was real. So I was torn between these two things. And looking back now, it seems so arrogant to say I didn't think Donna was real. But I grew up with the science tradition. I went to one of the first schools in England that was done specifically for women in science. We were being conditioned, I suppose, to break those into those fields. And I got a degree in zoology. I went on and did immunology research, serology research, had a number of different jobs, then got a PhD in electroanalytical chemistry. So, you know, I was in this zone of quite rigorous scientific training from the 70s and 80s. And it just didn't fill me up. There was always something missing. I grew up in Africa, so I had a very aware personality of the energy side of things because it was part of growing up, even though it got trained out of me. And basically what happened is I heard Donna was in Cardiff. So I phoned up a girlfriend and said, you're coming with me, because I could not get into a crowd. And she went, I don't want to go and see Donna. I said, yeah, but I do, and you've got to come with me because I need somebody to sit next to me so I don't freak out in the crowd. So we got there, sat in front. Donna took one look at me, had me up on stage, and I was blown away by what she did with me on stage. She had me up the next day as well. It was a 3-day course that I was on, and well, her integrity, her honesty, her charisma, it just blew me away. And because I'd met Maddie before, I signed up for a class that started a week later, came home, put everything on hold and went off to Wootton House. So that's how I got into EEM. And basically, I've never looked back. I went to fundamentals thinking I'm far too old. I was 57. Well, the youngest person there was 23, who was the first person I saw. And I thought, you idiot, what have you done, Househam? The oldest person was 78. So I felt amazing and realized age had nothing to do with it. What I loved was my science background and my healing energy side of me that I was basically resisting, got married together within this fundamentals year of the Eden method, because we do testing. Donna has put together this program where all the sort of different threads of energy get divided up so you can learn it easily. You can test, you can follow the energies, you can track the energies. And that appealed very much to my science-based training. It also totally honed my skills on the energy side, because although I think the testing is very important, I then learned not to be so reliant on it, in the sense of, obviously testing is important and I'm not saying it isn't, but I learned that those tools that we were given, the daily energy routine, the meridians, the radiant circuits, were so empowering. I'd been ill for many, many years, from the age of 17 till basically 57, where Western medicine had not helped me. It doesn't have the tools for that. And 1 year in fundamentals just changed all of that. It was incredibly empowering. So I signed up for year 2, and I've signed up for year 3, and so it goes on. Yeah, I don't know if that's answered your question. I've certainly wittered on for a while.
Yes, it has answered my question, because I was going to say to you, my next question was going to be, did it change you in any way? What were the
Absolutely.
benefits? But you have outlined that, Biddy. You know, it must have been the most amazing feeling of empowerment, if you want, that here was something that you could do that was organic, that was natural, and helped where other things had not quite sort of reached the bar.
I think that was exactly it. And it helped in a number of different ways. It helped physically, in that my health got better. It helped mentally, in that instead of sitting on the sidelines all my life as an observer, I actually became a participant. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. And that happened during that year, where I took a gap year, which I'd never had as a 20-something, because I was ill. I was from 17 to 27. I was too ill to do much. And I took a gap year, and I traveled around the world. I went to Australia, America, drove myself to Greece and back, all sorts of things that I never would have done before, because the empowerment that I felt doing the things that we learned and having the support that we had, because it's not just your 5 days when you sign up and you think, oh, that's a lot of money for 5 days, but it isn't. You get 3 months of support. You get mentoring, you have assessments you have to do. So the training is quite rigorous. It's not difficult, but it is intense, which I enjoyed because it was fun. And I think that's what came out of fundamentals for me. It was an awful lot of fun. We had fun in class. We had fun with the TAs. It was serious but fun. And I think that was a perfect balance.
Yes, we were talking yesterday with Dr. Claire Willocks about that sort of balance which somehow fundamentals gets between being fun but also being very professional. You know, the course notes and the handouts and the obvious preparation that's gone into the class is obvious really when you're there. But also we talked with Claire yesterday about you know, so many people have that feeling of belonging, of, oh my goodness, I've discovered some like-minded people. This is my tribe. You know, did you feel that? What was your feeling in respect
Absolutely.
of that?
I mean, I'd met you previously on an animal energy course, so that was kind of my lead in. It didn't put me off
through 4 legs.
So that's why I had your number and could phone you up and say, is there a space for one more in a week's time? But I literally walked into the room, because I did it in Wootton House, as you know, in Dorking. And I literally walked into the room and thought, I've arrived. I didn't think, what the flip am I doing here? It wasn't like, because normally I'll walk into a room, feel the energy in the room and walk out. And I still had my car keys in my hand, because I was completely prepared to walk in, go, this is not for me, and disappear, which is my modus operandi. But I didn't. There were 12 people in the group, completely different ages, from countries all over the world, different experiences, different jobs, different ages, but it was home. And I am friends with those people still. A couple left, but I think 11 out of 12 of us went on to year 2. Like you said yesterday, it hooks you. Be careful, people. This is so addictive. Once you're in, you will love it. But also, seriously, if you don't, one of the lasses who left found out what she did want to do. So it was, you know, it was changing for her. And for me, no, I felt like I'd come home, and that basis that fundamentals gave me really was empowering. It really made me feel like I was on the right track. And I like the whole integrity is the word that keeps coming to mind for me. integrity and fun. It was those two things. And even if you don't go on to practice, the actual ability that you get to look after yourself and your family, because that's what fundamentals does for you, is incredibly useful. To, you know, to be able to calm down a child who's having a tantrum on the floor simply by holding your hands on their neurovasculars is amazing. You don't have to ignore them or shout at them or cry with them. You can do something positive.
Yes, I mean, this is the wonderful thing about fundamentals. You can take it to whatever level you want, either for your own self-care or your family or friends. And you, Biddy, you went on to incorporate it into your practice, didn't you,
Yes,
with clients? And
it's actually enhanced my practice. I had a very teeny weeny practice because I wasn't feeling it with the other two things. And I do EFT a lot online with people. But as I said, I felt something was missing. But now not. I feel like I've come home. It's been really nice.
rather than replace all the wonderful wisdom and knowledge you've learnt with these other modalities, rather than replace them, it enables you to weave them together and just form, I suppose, a unique way of working that is Biddy Househam.
It very much does. And although I started out with them all separate, I mean, I Reiki my room. It's part of my practice, my treatment room. I'm sitting here at the moment. I will use tapping for specific things. I tend to use Eden energy medicine for almost everything, but I tend to use the tapping for myself, and I might weave the tapping into something, because sometimes you don't want to give someone a treatment and then have the two differently, but more often than not, I'll be doing tapping with someone and weave EEM into that, or I will do EEM separately. It tends to work like that. But yeah, EEM's become my main.
Someone who walked in with her car keys in her hands on that first day in the first class of fundamental. We've had Biddy Househam now for 3 years, and I'm determined to get her on for another, even more training.
See me there for your sins.
So, okay, before we finish, Biddy, I'd just like to ask you to cast your mind back to that first fundamentals class. And if you needed to sum it up in just one sentence, what would that be?
I think it really was that I was being constantly pulled in two directions of my energy healing, intuition side, and my training and my science, which I'm not disputing and I still use. And I was lost. My children had all left home. I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. I didn't want to retire. This is more than one sentence, but my one sentence would be that it brought me home to myself. And I felt like it completely integrated all those parts of me. But at the same time, I was part of an amazing community, a community that's very heart, mind based, grounded and loving. So yes, that was my experience of fundamentals.
Well, thank you so much, Biddy, for sharing those thoughts and observations with us. We're really, really grateful. Thank you very, very much. And I'm going to make sure you go on and on and on and on, and you'll be teaching fundamentals.
I will be.
So thank you, Biddy. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you've always wanted to know a little bit more about working with the energies of the body, fundamentals, level 1, fundamentals is the place to start. I promise you. You could think of it like a springboard, okay? And you can just dive into energy work from that springboard, from that fundamental springboard. And you can go to any depth that you want, okay? You can use it for your own self-care, for your family and friends, to extend your practice. It will bend to suit you. It's highly, highly flexible. Now, as I said before, all the logistics and details, practitioners, dates, everything is on that website. So level1.edenmethod.com. It's either down here or to the side, okay? Click on that link and then take the dive into energy medicine. I promise you won't regret it at all. Just try it out. And I'm going to be honest here. If you decide after that first class that for whatever reason, maybe life has got in the way, or you think this is not for me or whatever, don't worry about that, okay? Because you can just step out after that first class if you would like to, okay? There's no pressure. We don't tie you in. But I have to say what Biddy said, lots of people get very addicted. Warning, actually, we should have a warning. Energy medicine is highly addictive and you won't step out. But that option is there for you should you wish it. So I don't want you to feel under any pressure on that. Take a look at the website, see who's near you, see where the teacher you could go to, have a look at the logistics and sign up. Go to that first class and just see how you feel after that. And if you'd like to hear more about other people's experiences with level 1 fundamentals, join me tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. London time, when I'll be talking to Sheila, who is in North America and has just finished her fundamentals class. So it's all really, really, really fresh in her brain. So until then, I hope you join us tomorrow. It'll be another story. Thank you very, very much for being with us today. Bye-bye.